It's us again. The Bed Buds are back. If you're joining us for the first time, hi, I'm Em.
I'm Tima, and welcome to Bed Buds,
where we explore and react to the wildest stories from our friends and the internet.
And if you joined us last week for our mystery teaser, you're going to love this one. We're going to dive a little deeper, get into the creepy, the spooky, all of the ghostly, ghastly stuff.
Yeah, we're here. We're in the spirit. We love Halloween on this pod. So buckle up and get ready to get spooky with us.
Ooh.
Woo! All right. So I actually have a personal ghost story.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I talked about it a little bit last week. I don't know. I get nervous to talk about it because I'm afraid people won't believe me because, like I said before, I used to be a huge skeptic. So I know how it sounds when someone tells a ghost story and you're like, what? That's crazy. But I swear this did happen.
I believe you. I promise.
Thank you. Yeah, so I used to live in Ecuador. Right before the pandemic, I was there for about a year and I was teaching at a school. And I also lived at the school. So I lived in this kind of apartment building on campus. And then there was a grassy quad park area with a playground and then the school building behind that. It was all connected. It was all fenced in too. So at night, they would lock the gates and no one could come in. And then if we wanted to leave campus at night, we were allowed to, but we just would have to walk by the security guard who was in a tower, right? And he would have to unlock. So it was pretty secure. So my friend and I, who I was living with, we were taking bachata classes at the time down the street. So one night we were heading out and we're walking right by the park area on campus. And we both see maybe 20 feet away, but directly in front of us, a shadowy figure. But it wasn't a regular shadow where you can still see dimension, right? You can see folds in their clothes. You can see something that tells you, no, it was just a perfect, deep shadow. And it had glowing yellowish green eyes. And it walked by and my friend and I, neither of us say anything. It was really fast. And then we look at each other and we were like, did you just? Yeah. And then we look back and it's gone. And we were like, wait. What just happened? You saw that too, right? And we debriefed really quickly. We had both seen the exact same thing. A shadowy figure with yellowish green eyes walking by us. We're trying to rationalize it in our heads. We're like, okay, it was probably just the security guard walking by doing rounds. We leave. We get to the security tower. The security guard is in the tower. We ask him, did anyone come by here? No, you're the first people who've been by in a couple hours. Yeah. So we tried to put it out of our minds. We went to dance class. Everything was fine. But the whole night, we both were just feeling really uncomfortable. We didn't feel a bad presence or anything. That's the thing. It really did just feel like a guy walking by, except if the guy was completely two-dimensional and had green glowing eyes. But it felt just like a dude. And then the next morning, I was in the kitchen talking to one of the women who worked in the building who had worked there for 30 years. I was talking to her and I was like, hey, this is super weird to ask. And I'm sorry if this is strange, but have you heard stories about any ghosts around here? And she goes, oh, which one did you see?
What?
Just so matter of fact, which one? And I was like, yeah, it was just a man, a shadow man. And she was like, where was he? And I'm like, well, he was walking by this fence in the park right by where the soccer field is. And she was like, oh, yeah, I know that one. She's like, a man died. We had a soccer game, a parent-student soccer game a couple years ago. And one of the parents passed away during the soccer game. And he just died on the field. Yeah. And a couple people have seen him. This was just a couple years ago.
That's so sad.
So sad. But she was like, I don't think he's dangerous. I think he's just lost.
That's why you didn't feel like it was malevolent.
I didn't feel anything. And I was like, oh, that's so good. Okay, that's a really sad story, but I'm glad he sounds like he's a peaceful spirit. She was like, yeah, he's not the one you need to worry about.
Oh my God. Why would she say that to you?
And I was like, which one do I need to worry about? Like, tell me more. And she's like, well, I don't know too much because I personally haven't seen any of them, but there have been many times where I go in and clean and I set the table and I push the chairs in and then I walk into the kitchen and I hear chairs dragging like at the table I just set and I'm like, oh, they're back for dinner. And then I walk into the kitchen and no one's in there and the chairs have moved. And I was like, okay. And she's like, yeah. And then there's the one that lives in the food pantry. I also haven't seen that one, but I've heard it breathing. And that one feels really dark. I was like, okay, good to know. And I had never paid attention like to the food pantry before because I purposefully didn't go in there.
Okay.
Because one time I went in there at night, like looking for just like a bag of chips. Like I felt just like chills up and down my body when I was in that pantry. Like literally chills. Like it felt so just like, ugh. But at that time I didn't believe in ghosts yet. And so I was like, whatever, like I'm just afraid of the dark randomly for the first time in my life out of nowhere. But it like felt really weird in there. So anyway, the next day I'm like in class and I'm chatting with my students and I was like, do y'all believe in ghosts? Like just curious if y'all believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
And they're like all talking about all their different experiences that they've had at the school.
What?
They're like, oh yeah, there's like the one that lives in the bathroom and then there's the one that lives in the theater.
No. No.
Yeah. So
did you ask if any of them were harmed by these ghosts?
no, none of them had been harmed by any of the ghosts. And that was like a huge thing that made me feel better. So I was pretty scared for like a couple days. And my friend and I, like I said, we like salt in every single room. Like we were very serious about it. But after a while, I like started to feel fine. And I was like, either I made it up in my head and my friend and I just had like a shared hallucination. Again, ever the skeptic. Or like it really happened, but like it's chill and they're like cool ghosts.
Okay.
But then,
oh no, there's more.
Dude, so much happened at this place. So then, after a little bit of time passed, my friends and I were kind of like joking about it. Like we were like, this is just a funny thing that happened. And so a bunch of us were hanging out in the park after dark, just like on the swings. And I heard a whisper in my ear, like a psst. Like not words or anything, just like a psst. And I was like, turned to my friend and I was like, did you say something? And he goes, no, I heard that too. I thought you said something. And I was like, what did you hear? He's like, you just whispered.
No.
I was like, no, I didn't.
I hate this.
And then my friend across the circle goes, what just happened? Did you hear that? And I was like, no, what happened? He's like, someone just whispered in my ear.
Dude.
And we were like, absolutely not. But then my other friend was like, let's just explore the school building after dark. And we're all like, we're a little scared, but that also actually sounds really fun.
Yeah. I mean, if you're together.
Right. If we're together. Right. That's what I was like, there's strength in numbers. Not realizing that this is like
the beginning of like every horror movie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we went into the school building. But I mumbled. We went into the school building after dark, which we shouldn't have done because all of my students told me that it was extremely haunted. And all of my students were like, it's not a ghost, it's a demon in the school. Like there's a ghost in the house, there's a demon in the school.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, how do they know that? Sure. So we're walking around the school building and we didn't really see anything or hear anything. And then just me and one friend, like we separated. Geniuses.
Y'all really like pick the script from the horror movies.
We are super intelligent.
Yeah.
So we separated, me and one friend. So I do have a witness, right? We walked by a classroom that had a picture of like a saint. It was like a woman with a halo.
Okay.
And we looked inside and we looked at this woman who had this expression on her face. Like a very like demure, like sweet expression.
Okay.
And she literally goes, like in like the blink of an eye, like for one split second she goes, And she makes like a completely demonic face for a split second. And then she was back to like being like polite. And me and my friend, because if I had been alone, I would have said I'm playing tricks on myself.
Yeah.
My friend and I both looked at each other, gasped, and said, "Did you just see that? Her face changed." And we looked back at her and she wouldn't do it again. And then we fucking booked it. Like we ran. And the whole time we were running back to the house, we literally heard footsteps behind us.
No. No.
It was too much.
I would have burned the school down. That's when you just incinerate everything.
It was so scary. So I wasn't like taking it seriously before then, even though I had had all the signs and witnesses to every single thing I had experienced. I was like,
yeah,
I'm hallucinating. No, I did not hallucinate that. Me and my friend did not hallucinate the same thing.
No, yeah. Like, I was going to say that when it's a shared experience, it's so much more proof that what you saw was real.
Dude, it was actually so scary.
Damn.
And also, when this was happening, I was desperate. Like, after that demon face change experience, I was literally desperate. I went from complete skeptic to like, holy shit, they're all out to get me. I'm about to die. So I posted on my Instagram story, like, serious question. Has anybody had experience with a haunting and how did you get rid of it? And I got so many responses from people who were like,
wow.
Yes, like I've had a literal haunting. Like people I know.
Like people from here or
people from here, people from there. Like so many people I know were like, yeah, I've had a haunting or my uncle had a haunting. One of my friends from Ecuador told me about how her aunt moved into a new house.
Okay.
And the first night that she slept there in that bed, she lived alone. She felt like a depression, like in the bed next to her, like the bed next to her like sank down, and she felt someone lay down next to her. And obviously she freaked out, turned on the lights, no one was there. And every single night this like ghost would come and try to sleep with her and like touch her and like breathe in her ear. And she had to move. She got to a point where she was begging the ghost. She was like, please.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't know who you think I am. Like, if you think like I'm your wife, like, I'm so sorry, you're confused. Like, you're confused, you're dead, like, you need to leave.
Yeah.
But every single night, this ghost would lay down next to her and, like, try to hug her.
Yo, the fact that she didn't leave the first night. She just...
Well, that's the
she
thing,
stayed,
though.
she begged.
I always think about that in horror movies, like, when people just, like, deal with a haunting for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, moving is not something that you can just do at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, that's
right?
so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, I feel like a lot of those stories... when they've been living with the ghost for like 15 years, the ghost will do stuff like move things around, you know, not like
sleep with them.
Yeah. That's a different level.
Yeah.
Ah, my gosh.
So scary though.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody who has been, like, I don't personally know anyone who's been harmed by a ghost.
Okay.
I will say that. Like, scared shitless? Absolutely. Had to move? Yes.
Mentally harmed? Yes.
Of course. But I don't know anyone who's been... That's a lie. That's actually a lie.
Someone has been harmed?
I know somebody who's been scratched. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I didn't take it serious. I didn't believe in ghosts yet.
Okay.
In college, apparently, my university was like one of the most haunted places, like in North America or something.
You poor thing. You're like a ghost magnet.
Yeah, nothing ever happened to me there. But I know someone who got scratched, and I was like, LOL, okay. So.
How's karma treating you now?
Yeah, great. Haven't been haunted since, like, knock on proverbial wood, but
yeah. I'm glad.
Yeah, thank you.
But that's such a crazy experience.
Yeah.
I have a story of my own.
Yeah.
But I wish it was like yours.
No, go. Every ghost story is valid.
Okay, I will. I can't really say it's a ghost story.
Okay.
But it's something.
Okay.
All right, so when I was 12 years old, okay, we moved into this house.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was 12. Maybe I was 14. Who knows?
It's all an illusion.
It's all an illusion. This was the first time that I had a room all to myself. So I was a little scared, right? And I remember falling asleep one night. I wake up, but I'm not in control of my body.
Oh, hell no.
Not in control of my body.
Oh, hell no.
And it would have been fine if I was just laying in bed. No. My body was moving.
No, it wasn't. Okay.
My body was moving. She gets up. She goes to my little dresser. And she starts touching this. If for the ones who are listening in right now, I'm holding like a blue shell that I've had for years.
Yeah, she
She is
being
me.
you. Okay, but like
She
you
is
not
me.
in control. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
I'm just like not in control.
Okay.
And I start touching the shell. I'm looking at it. I'm analyzing it. And in my head, I know what I'm doing, but I cannot control my body. Then I move to my door. Open my door. I open it really quickly. I stub my toe. Can't feel it. But I know it happened.
I just love a clumsy ghost.
I feel like they find the ones they resonate most with. You know?
She said, this one doesn't have her shit together. I choose her.
Yeah. No one can blame me if she gets hurt. You know? So, all right, stub my toe. I know it happened because I can see like the door like, you know, hit it and bounce off. I'm like, all right, just stub my toe. Cool. And I'm perfectly calm during this time. I'm confused, but I'm calm.
Uh-huh.
Walks out to my front door, turns the handle, opens the door. I walk out to the middle of the street.
No.
To the middle of the street. I don't know what time it was. It was just like extremely dark. Obviously, the streetlights were on, thankfully. And I'm just there, staring at the street. And now I'm freaking out. Like my mind is freaking out.
Yeah.
Because this is not a dream.
Yeah.
I could feel how cold it is outside and how scared I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, okay, I cannot freak out right now. I need to calm down.
And you're still in the middle of the street.
I'm in the middle of the street, no control of my body, but I do feel like I can get control. Okay. Like I kind of feel it seeping in a little bit at this point. So I'm like, I need to calm down. I really need to calm down. So I told myself, I need to calm down. I need to just think, okay? So eventually I gain control of my body back, go back inside my house, go to sleep.
Okay.
All right? I don't know how I fell asleep, but I did. I wake up from that and I'm like, no, it was probably just a dream. I look at my fucking toe. No. I look at my toe.
Was it bleeding?
It was just blue and bruised. And that's how I knew everything happened. Like all of it. Also another important note. When I came back in the house, I did not close the door. I didn't close the front door.
No way.
I was just so like, I was back to my body, but I was like very out of it. I was just telling myself like, I need to go back to sleep. Like I wasn't even processing anything that was happening or anything that happened. I didn't think about it. I just went back to sleep. So my mom woke up in the morning and she's like, oh my God, like we got robbed. She was so scared.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't tell her what happened.
Yeah, you just
because
had
she
your
would have freaked out.
toe.
Yeah. I just had my toe. I just had to like hide everything. And once my mom found out that nothing was gone, it kind of just calmed down and everyone forgot about it. But that was a very scary experience for me. It never happened again. So I don't know what it was. I don't like I am hesitant to say it was a ghost, you know, but to even have an experience.
I'm not.
Okay, like even if it was just a mental thing, right? To have that kind of experience is terrifying because when is it gonna happen again?
No, like that's the kind of thing where you wish it was a ghost. Like you hope it was a ghost.
Yeah.
Because if it was just you,
yeah,
like that could just like awaken in you.
That's so true.
Not to scare you, but
thank you for that.
Good luck.
In moments of stress.
Have fun. Was that this house?
It was this house. It was this room.
Fuck.
It was this room.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm leaving.
Bye.
Enjoy doing the rest of the episode by yourself.
Ghosty and me have been vibing ever since. I think she probably felt bad that, you know, she hurt me. So.
I love that.
But I mean, she did take me out to the middle of the street, so.
Let's not badmouth her if she's still here.
Oh, that's true. She's like, you want me to
like,
do it again?
Fuck around and
I
find
can do
out.
it again.
No, we're going too far. Girl, it's cool. Like, we can go have a date.
Yeah, like, please don't. I value my life.
Okay. Wait, so now that we know that this room is probably haunted,
Probably, yeah.
would you ever, like, purposefully go to a haunted place?
I think so. I think I still would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I'm kind of offended. Am I easily possessed? Does that mean I'm like the weaker breed that it can just
I don't
get
know.
to me?
Dude. Like, she wasn't even a powerful ghost. She's like the weakest ghost out there. Sorry again. Sorry, girl.
She finally got so excited that she finally got someone.
This one has no backbone. Just like a little shred of a soul. She's like, perfect.
I was 12 or 14.
Or 14. Why didn't you just say 13?
Because that's a false age. It was either 12 or 14.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, Ghosty.
Don't speak to Ghosty.
Okay, sorry.
Let's just
Ghosty.
not speak to Ghosty.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if I would ever like purposefully go to a haunted place. I know I've been in extremely haunted places. Like obviously the place in Ecuador. Like I said, my university is like one of the most haunted places. I've been to Eastern State Penitentiary in Pennsylvania, which is like also one of the most haunted places in the world. But I was there during Okay, we need to tell them what just happened. Well, we have that on video. For those of you listening, I think Fatima's ghost is trying to contact us.
Possibly you. She found a better.
She found a weaker one. Well, yeah. Moving on. I guess I don't know how to recover from that.
Are you thinking about it now?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking about it. I'm actually regretting this episode fully because now I'm terrified to ever exist again.
Hey, I'm fine.
We've already established you don't have a soul.
That's when it started, actually. She stole it.
Okay, wait, no. Again, we're good. We're good, Ghosty. We're good.
Dab me up.
Wow, we're just losing it today. Okay. Should we move on to another story?
Let's go ahead and do it.
So this next one is coming from Reddit. So this is coming from r/paranormal encounters. This is actually my first time perusing this subreddit. I do try to stay away from the spooky outside of October. So there's subreddits where people share like their best ghost stories that are like creative writing. But then there's subreddits that say specifically like this is for real ghost stories only. Obviously, nothing is stopping somebody from going in and writing a fake story. It does feel like people really do believe in these stories. So I think we're going to choose to believe in them too.
Yeah.
So again, this is coming from r/paranormal encounters, and it's called My Dying Fiancé Saw People I Couldn't. I was with my fiancé for almost 12 years before he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Towards the end, he was sent home from the hospital and put on in-home hospice care. It was only a matter of time. The first night home, after everyone visiting had left, I was home alone with him. I could tell he was slowly losing his mind. The cancer had spread because he was saying things that didn't make sense. For example, he would pick up an imaginary item, hand said item to me, and say, "Here, put this in your purse." Anyways, I was sitting in a chair next to the hospice bed when he said, "Why is she here?" While looking past me. I asked who, and he said, "Your gram." My grandmother lived where we lived. We moved in after she was put in an assisted living facility because she had dementia, and she passed away in 2017. I told him to follow her and see what she wanted, but he got so scared saying he doesn't want to go. The next night, sitting next to him, he asked me, "Who are they?" I asked who, and he said, "In the hallway," but nothing was there. A few nights later, he saw my grandmother again. This time he wasn't scared, but I didn't press him further, considering his mentality was still declining and he would easily get agitated. I remembered thinking, of all people, why is he seeing my gram and not any of his deceased relatives or friends? He passed away the next morning, holding my hand and surrounded by family. As if it all wasn't creepy to begin with, he died on the 4th anniversary of my grandmother's death. It's been 2 years since he passed, and I still sense him, especially at night when I'm in bed. I feel him in the corner of the room, just watching me. Sometimes I'll say out loud, "Please don't scare me," and I'll feel his presence walk across the room, out the door. I have since moved, and I sense him there as well. I don't exactly see him, but I know exactly how he's dressed and how he looks now. He looks healthy again, like his old self. I'm wondering why he hasn't moved on, but my guess is he's waiting to make sure I'm truly okay and happy. Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think about that? Like, what do you think about people who are about to die seeing the deceased?
So I've read a couple like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like a trend
Mm.
with people who are closer to death. I actually do have a story coming up that kind of deals with this similar
Yeah.
effect. So I think it's very possible. Because I don't think they're on the same plane anymore. Personally, I just don't.
Yeah.
Um,
There are so many stories too of people like who are just about to die saying that they literally see the light or like they can see their own relatives waiting for them, right? I mean, I don't know, that's nice, right?
yeah.
But I do agree with her. Like, I wonder why he saw her grandmother, not any of his relatives.
Well, I think I think that was like a preface to the day of his death,
Yeah.
right? Because it was on the 4th anniversary of her grandma's death.
Yeah.
So maybe that was,
Oh,
yeah.
like maybe she was like waiting to welcome him.
Yeah.
Also, I
Yeah.
mean, he did have a connection to her, right? Because they lived in her old house.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she just really took a liking to him and
Yeah.
wanted to guide him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah, that's
actually.
a nice thought. Yeah,
Aw.
I agree.
It would be a little scary to me though if my recently deceased partner were just like roaming around my room.
Would it be scary or would it be comforting? I can't decide. I really can't
Ah.
decide.
I think that's a very personal thing because
Yeah.
some people have not let go of the person that they lost.
Yeah.
But for me, I think that would kind of hold me back from living the rest of my life. And I think
Yeah.
it would make grieving even harder. Thinking that, like, oh, you know, maybe I can still keep him around,
Right.
even in this form.
And also, like, when you do eventually, however long that takes, when you do eventually move on and start seeing someone else,
Yeah.
feeling like, is he literally watching me right now?
Mhm.
Like, and is this causing him pain now?
Exactly.
Like, now he's unable to move on because he's literally seeing me be with someone else. Like, yeah, that would totally do a number on you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you can't fully move on with your life and with
Yeah.
other romantic partners if you're feeling guilt over, like you said, you know, your past partner watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, that's complex.
Yeah.
One of the comments does say, "This is totally normal. I was an oncology nurse for years and I sat with a lot of dying people. Everyone saw someone. Some would even introduce me to the people they saw. I couldn't see them, but I could feel them. I responded as if it were completely normal. It was. And everyone was happy."
Oh.
So, yeah. Sounds like that's a thing that happens when you're dying sometimes, is you just start seeing other people. Maybe you're like a bridge.
Possibly.
Almost like how a medium is, right?
Yeah.
You're halfway between the two realms.
Yeah, that's what I think. I just don't think they're on the same plane as us anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's kind of comforting though.
It is. And actually a lot of other people in the comments go on to talk about like their experiences. Like I said, I actually really loved reading the stories in this subreddit. I felt like the community was really like lovely and supportive. I know that it was like a paranormal subreddit, but I thought that everyone was pretty sweet. Somebody asks that oncology nurse, in your experience, has anyone dying ever mentioned seeing their late pets? I'm kind of hoping to see my dog coming to get me when I die. And so folks talk about their experiences that they've had of seeing their pets come to them after their pets have died, like feeling their cat who had died come up and sit in bed with them and snuggle up to them. I guess it's kind of similar to the story I told about my friend's aunt, with like the dude in bed with her. But I guess it's cuter when it's a cat.
I don't know about that.
Like a ghostly presence coming and snuggling up to you.
All right. It's definitely cuter when it's like...
It's way cuter when it's a cat, for sure.
And not some creepy man.
Yeah. Well, but I hope our pets are just like...
I do too.
For us. If anyone deserves an afterlife, animals.
Absolutely.
Not sure we do, but they do.
All dogs go to heaven.
Yeah, literally.
And cats and possums.
Possums. Do you love possums too?
Dude, they're amazing. They're so docile and sweet, and they don't carry rabies.
Oh my gosh. It is so hard to find a fellow possum lover out there. A neighbor of mine actually has a bumper sticker on their car that said, it's like red, white, and blue, and it has like an American flag on it. But where it would normally have a bald eagle, it has a possum. And it says, "True patriots honk for North America's only marsupial." Oh. And I need that bumper sticker.
Yo, that's such a specific one.
Immediately.
I love it. I really love possums. Yeah. Like, I wish I could have a possum as a pet.
Yeah, they're so cute. Well, shout out to possums. Hey, it's not bugs this time.
I know. I'm so proud of us.
Oh
We're
gosh.
moving forward onto bigger and better
We're
things.
evolving. Yeah. We went from bugs to mammals. Wow. Do you want to switch to another story?
Yeah. I have a good one.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it spooky? Is it funny? I want to prepare myself.
This one is a bit jarring, I would say.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, so this one is also from Reddit, and it's coming from Ass.
Just ass.
Shut up.
This story is ass.
R/
You got it. r/scary stories.
Scary stories.
Yeah.
It's from r/scary stories. The unrest stop. I was driving across country with my mom and sister when I was 16 and my sister was 20. It was late, but we were well rested still and alert. We were driving along an interstate and needed gas and a bathroom break, so we stopped at the only rest stop in 200 miles. There was a van full of teenagers on a road trip at the gas station, as well as a small gray car parked at the pump in front of us, with two young men standing still outside of it. When we got there, everything felt wrong. We'd been on the road for days and seen many rest stops at night and had never been afraid until then. My mom and sister went inside and I stayed in the car. I heard the teenagers say they were creeped out and couldn't get the pump to work, and they left in a hurry. I was watching the car in front of us and the two men had not moved at all, not an inch. They weren't talking, they weren't on phones, they were just standing there, still as stone. My sister and mom came running back out to the car, and when they got in, the two men slowly turned to look at us, while not moving or pivoting the rest of their bodies. And I swear to fucking shit, we all saw the same thing. They had eyes dark as pitch and empty. Truly empty, not black, not reflecting any light at all, just a void. We sped out of there and we didn't stop until we were in the next city. The worst thing about the entire experience? We couldn't find the place on any map. We knew exactly which spot on the interstate to look, and we couldn't find it on Google Maps or any paper map we had. We even asked locals about the creepy gas station out on that stretch of road and got only confused looks. We've traveled on that interstate since, and there is no rest stop.
That's the kind of life-changing shit right there that just never lets you sleep at night again. Or like get out of your car or go anywhere or do anything.
Yeah.
That's scary as fuck.
It's like, and you know when we were talking about shared experiences, they all experience the same thing. You know, so it's not in one of their heads.
Dude, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, with mine, like, I almost wish I had been alone because then you can pretend it didn't happen, right? Yeah. But now you have to live with the knowledge that, like, it happened. Yeah. I saw it. You saw it. We saw it. This is a shared experience. This is a memory we all have.
Exactly. And isn't it crazy that it's a place that they went to that doesn't actually exist?
No.
Like, it does not exist.
That's some parallel universe shit again.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, They could have been stuck there.
Yeah, you're so
You know?
right. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I know.
I
It's
hate
awful.
it. Oh my gosh.
That's
No,
awful.
absolutely not.
And this is the kind of story that you honestly cannot believe it until you've experienced it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So do I fully believe it? I don't know. But like,
Did you believe mine?
I completely believed you
Okay.
because I know you, right?
Yeah.
But like, that's just
Yeah.
crazy, you know?
Bro. Yeah, no, I literally would never recover. I would
Yeah.
fully never recover. Like, it's the whole going to a place that doesn't exist for me.
Exactly.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, no one can find this on the map. No one knows where this place is. What? That's insane.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
go. I'm glad it creeped you out though.
Moving on. Yeah, that one did it.
Yeah.
That one really did
yeah.
it. I like can't even think about that too much actually. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about squirrels right now.
Another mammal.
Yeah, another mammal. We're in mammal mode today. So this is coming from r/what is this bone? I don't know if you've like interacted with any animal or plant identification subreddits yet.
Nar.
Okay, Fatima is pretty new to Reddit for those listening, so we're slowly indoctrinating her into the Reddit landscape. But there's a lot of identification subreddits like r/what is this spider? What is this reptile? What is this plant? What is this mushroom? Literally saves lives. So yeah. But what is this bone is where people post like bones that they find, asking essentially what animal it is or what bone on the animal it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people in the community with just like a ton of knowledge.
Okay.
So this one is called Squirrel Brought This Bone Onto My Patio and It Looks a Little Too Human to Ignore. Any thoughts? Like the title says, a squirrel dragged this bone up onto my patio a few days ago and started chewing on the marrow. The squirrel is gone, but the bone is still here, and the more I look at it, the more human it looks. Should I report this, or does anyone think maybe this is from an animal? I'm going to put the picture of the bone in the YouTube video, but I will just show you.
Wait, hold on. That's supposed to be a squirrel bone?
No, a squirrel brought this bone onto this person's patio, so a squirrel carried this bone and was chewing on it.
Yeah, that looks very human to me.
But also, a question I have and a question that all the commenters had is, how big was that squirrel?
Yeah, wait. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
That's a big bone.
Damn.
Yeah. So someone says, quote, how big was that squirrel? And OP said, it was quite a sight to behold, actually. I've never seen a squirrel with a bone in my life, let alone seeing one climb up my vertical patio post holding one. There's been a lot of comments about the squirrel, so here it is.
Oh, here we go. Oh. Yo, that's not a squirrel. That's...
Yeah.
I'm speechless again.
Yeah. The squirrel is like the size of like a small to medium house cat, I would say. It's also like almost completely black.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's like a mutant.
Yeah, it's not a normal squirrel and it's just sitting there gnawing on just a whole bone.
Oh, it's actually eating it.
Yeah, it's eating it.
Oh my God.
One of the comments said it might be like a pregnant mama squirrel who's having like a mineral deficiency.
Aww.
Which is like really sweet for a really creepy story. She's trying her best.
She's just trying to provide for her child, her unborn child.
So OP continues, okay, so we called our local non-emergency line and they sent an officer over. The officer took some pictures and he told us not to touch it. He's sending them to an investigation unit to verify the bone's origin. If it is human, he informed us that our property basically becomes a crime scene, so that sucks, but whatever. Edit number 3. The officer ended up taking the bone in an evidence bag. He said they'll be in touch if the bone is human. The investigations people couldn't determine enough from the pictures. That's basically the end of it for now. Edit 4. Our neighbors in the townhouses behind ours just informed us that there have been squirrels in their attics for the past 3 weeks. All of the attics are connected. This could be a potentially creepy revelation or just a weird coincidence. In any case, I haven't heard anything more from the officer, which is good news for me. I'll update if there are any more revelations.
Man, what's in those attics for these squirrels to be that size?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
wild.
scary. So, now that we've sat with that story for just a second,
Yes.
I will say r/what is this bone, like I said, has an amazing community of really knowledgeable people.
Mm-hmm.
So there were a lot of archaeologists coming into the comments.
Okay.
And apparently the consensus overall on Reddit is that this is probably a turkey tibiotarsus, so not human.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Some people said it looked like it could be a juvenile human femur, but it wasn't quite right for a juvenile, so it didn't match up because it would be too small for an adult human femur.
Okay.
So that's good. Probably bird. And then it was kind of funny. People were going back and forth. Like someone said maybe an ostrich bone, and then there was an ostrich farmer in the chat who was like, no, definitely not ostrich.
I love this.
So probably turkey is the answer.
It's like the whole gang is like coming together.
It was really cute. It was like really adorable. But yeah, probably not ostrich.
Okay.
I have a background in archaeology, so I was also looking at it like very closely and trying to figure it out, but I am nowhere near talented enough to figure this out from a picture. So shout out to those folks who figured out like exactly probably the type of bird too.
Dang. They're so talented. Over a picture too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you ever just like found a bone in the wild?
I mean, my dog had this habit of just like ripping up animals. So I found skeletons of rats. I found half of a squirrel once that I had to like shovel up. The other half was gone.
Oh my
Probably ate it.
Just the bones, like just the skeleton?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it was cute.
Okay.
Not me at like 12 years old shoveling up
Oh my god.
squirrel remains.
Wow, your 12th year was a tough one.
It really was. I got possessed.
Oh my god.
I had to clean up squirrel remains.
Wow, prayers for 12-year-old Tima.
I know, she really went through it.
Pour one out for her.
She's okay. She's not traumatized or anything. That's enough. A gremlin.
Yeah, I actually have found bones out in the wild, human bones
What?
out in the wild.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It's so crazy that we've been friends for so long.
Yeah.
But there's so much I don't know about you.
I've been thinking about that. That's actually pretty wild. Same. I never knew you got possessed.
Yeah, that's a fun time. I don't talk about it often again. Okay, again.
Oh my goodness, the candle moved again, y'all. I'm pretty sure it's just gravity, but
you can never be 100% sure.
I was right when I said the word possessed.
Yeah.
So,
it's like her own personal Ouija board.
Don't say that. Why do you have to say that?
I'm not really that sorry.
Oh my gosh. Let me adjust this. Okay, we're back. I put the candle away. I think we're done communicating with Ghosty for tonight.
We're good.
Yeah. Thanks, girl, but we're good here. Do you want to move on and tell me a story?
Yeah. Okay, I have a little spook for you.
All right. Are there more rodents involved?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, no. Hey, everyone. So it's the next day. We are wearing different clothing.
Except for me. My pants are the same. I'm not changing. Sorry.
Yeah, we wrapped up the recording last night. I went home. We were feeling really good about it.
Yeah, I had such a nice rest last night.
Yeah. And then this morning, I opened up the audio tracks to start editing. Fatima's audio was just completely corrupted. And
demonic.
By corrupted, I mean demonic. Fully demonic. So I'm gonna put in the video here just a clip of that sounds like, and just let us know what you think, because I'm fucking terrified.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting really tired right now.
Oh, she did not. She did not. She did bump her. She did bump her, right? So yeah. Let us know what you think happened. We're real scared.
Yeah, it was creepy. I think my little ghosty friend didn't like that I talked about her, so she came back.
Yeah, this is her house now.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, so we're just going to record a couple more stories today.
Mhm.
We're fully anti-Halloween now.
Yes.
No more candles, no more spooky lights, no more spooky clothes and makeup. But we are still going to tell a couple more ghost stories now in broad daylight
Yes.
and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Should we get started?
Let's go for it.
All right. Okay, so our next story comes from r/paranormal encounters on Reddit, and it's called Mortician Here, I Need Help. I've been a mortician for over a decade and have never had any issues with anything paranormal. Around 6 months ago, a new girl started working at the funeral home. She and her family claim to be sensitive, do different divination rituals, and are psychic. She even admitted to me that she has done black magic to get back at an ex-boyfriend. So here's the deal. Like I said, nothing has ever happened to me regardless of the funeral homes I've worked in. I've been there alone all hours of the night, nothing. So the past few months, weird things have started happening. My other coworker has had weird things happen at her home, like things randomly appearing, her son is sleepwalking and speaking to someone outside, or pictures are flying across the room. At the funeral home, we've heard whispering on multiple occasions and doors slamming. What does that sound?
A car.
I'm so spooked. Okay. Okay. Now comes my turn. The other night, I'm embalming alone, and I thought I kept seeing someone standing out of the corner of my eye, but I kept telling myself it was my mind messing with me. Everything is locked, obviously, since I'm alone. So no more than 5 minutes after, I hear a massive slam against the metal bar on the door. It was so loud, I about had a heart attack. My main question here is, what is y'all's opinion? Do you think it's someone I've helped over the years making themselves known? Or do you think it's more? I personally think the new girl has brought something with her. Her grandmother even told her she has an attachment. I'm terrified and really don't want to work alone. I'm afraid if it's more than just a spirit, cleansing will make it more upset and make things worse. Help.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
So this new girl is apparently more spiritually attached.
Yeah, sounds like
Okay.
it. She
Okay.
claims that she's sensitive, right? So she's like, clearly has a lot of interactions with spirits.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Well, my head kind of goes to this thought. I don't know if you're thinking about the same thing.
Okay.
But do you believe in the whole Matrix thing?
Like the glitch in the Matrix?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one. That one kind of makes my head hurt, to be honest.
Okay, well, same.
Yeah.
I don't have like a strong opinion on it yet, but I watched a lot of TikTok videos, you know.
Okay.
And there have been people who claimed that they have broken out of the Matrix, and because of that, they're kind of on a different plane. And I'm wondering if these people can have like a different connection to the other side that we can't.
So, like, they've broken out of the Matrix and into, like, a different, like, spiritual realm or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like an in-between world.
Yeah.
You know, between our world and the spiritual realm or
Yeah.
higher power or whatever.
Interesting. I do always wonder about, like, why it is that some people see ghosts more than others, right? Like, how come some people are skeptics and for good reason because they literally never see anything?
Yeah.
And then other people are just constantly in tune, constantly talking to spirits, not even just like, mediums are like the biggest example, but there are other people who are just constantly being haunted, like us. But yeah, I really wonder why that is, that some people experience ghosts and hauntings more than others. Some of the comments kind of touch on this, so I'm going to read a few. So this comment says,
Mhm.
I'm a medium. When people with such an ability walk into a room and spirits realize they're being seen or heard, activity goes wild. So I wonder if, like, the spirits are just waiting for somebody who can see them, who believes. And when that
Okay.
person comes, they're like, finally, it's our time to be heard. And they just go
Okay.
crazy. Whereas, like, maybe with skeptics or people who aren't as in tune, they don't even bother.
Okay, but you were a skeptic, right?
Maybe that was just a really powerful ghost.
Okay, that's true. That's true. That's fair. But okay, still, like I've heard so many stories
Right.
of people who didn't believe in ghosts before,
Yeah.
and they had ghost experiences. Not all of these ghosts can be super powerful, yeah?
That's true.
There
That's
has to
true.
be there has to be something.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think about, like, imagine if you're a ghost, right? And, like, when you first die and you first realize you're a ghost, you're trying to contact people.
Yeah.
So you're, like, trying to, like in the movies, you're trying to, like, knock a candle over or
Yeah.
fuck with someone's audio or, like, do whatever to get noticed.
Don't
And you're
make her
not-
angry.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, girl. And you're not getting noticed, right? So eventually you're just going to be like, why bother, right? Why bother to try to contact people?
Yeah.
And then one day someone walks into the room
Yeah.
and you feel that they can perceive you and everyone's like, guys, it's our time. Like, let's talk to this person. She can hear me.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And I
Yeah.
think, I think some people are more sensitive
Yeah.
to ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call it.
Do you think that you're sensitive at all?
I mean, I was possessed apparently, so.
True.
No, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
don't think so. I don't have these experiences often enough for me to be like, yeah, I have a special connection to another realm or another life. Yeah.
Like, do you ever walk into a room and, like, feel an energy?
I do remember there was this one time years ago when we were looking for our house, like as a family. We walked into this one house and I immediately had this dreadful feeling.
Yeah.
It was awful. I was like, I need to get out of here. I told my mom, I was so young, I was like 12. And I told my mom, I'm like, I need to get out of here. Like right now, we need to go. And because of that, we didn't even put an offer on the house.
Really?
Yeah. But that was the only time that I really felt that strongly about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even mention this to you, but I don't even want to say it because we're still in this house. I'm sorry. You're the one who has to live here, though, not me. But, like, last night, right? After going home, I mean, it was like 1 a.m. When I went home after recording. When I parked my car, I have never run so fast to my house. Like, I parked my car, turned off the engine, and all of a sudden, I just felt so not alone is the best way to describe it. Like, genuinely, I was like, someone is watching me. Like, and maybe there was, like, a creepy stalker on the street. I don't know. But, like, I felt like someone was watching me. So I booked it to my house. I ran so fast that I wear glasses, right? Right now I'm wearing contacts, but I wear glasses. I left my glasses in the car.
Oh, no.
And I was just like, fuck it. I'm not going to see. Like, I'm not going back. I was so scared. And then today, right, when I was driving to your house, I freaking missed your house. I've driven here so many times. We live like a block away from each other. Oh my God,
this is bringing back that story where they like went to a gas station and it didn't exist.
Yeah, no, I literally drove past your house and then I was like, where am I going? And I had to make a U-turn, but I was like, my body does not want to be here.
No! Stop it. Don't. No. Ghostie's a friend. I think she was just offended last night the way I talked about her or him. We really don't know.
We don't know them.
We don't know what it is. Them.
Yeah. We have to do a cleansing after this, I think.
Possibly.
Anyway, back to this story. Yeah, so I wonder though, like, what this girl's intentions are, right? Because this all started when this girl started working at the morgue. And so some of the comments touch on that too. Someone says, my entire female ancestry were witches. I am sensitive and paranormal things are normal to myself and my children. The same thing happened to my unit when I worked nights at one of the biggest hospitals in the city. The nights I worked, activity went through the roof. Even the doctors were afraid to walk the halls alone. So maybe hiring a sensitive at a funeral home was not a good idea. But then again, what sensitive would want to work at a funeral home? That's way too much energy for me. I would be drained.
Mm.
And someone responds, exactly. My intuition suggests she had malevolent intentions in going there.
Well, that checks out because she did black magic on her boyfriend.
Yeah, she did.
And
she did.
I think anyone who is capable of doing black magic doesn't have good intentions,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're doing, whether or not, like, you all believe in magic, dark or good,
Yeah.
like, if someone believes in magic and thinks that they are genuinely practicing evil upon someone else and, like,
Yes.
think that what they're doing could harm someone, like, that person is not a good person.
It really does boil down to intention at that point.
Say that again.
It really does boil down to intention at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust this girl, but, like, what should she do at this point? Like, can
like-
that door even be closed?
Well, I have no idea. There's so much about spirituality that we just do not know,
Yeah.
right? So it could be that she opened this door and she's the only one that can close it. But if she has malevolent intentions, is she really going to do that? Probably not.
So.
Yeah.
I don't think she wants to.
I think the coworker's best bet is to reach out to someone who is
Yeah.
experienced in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Who can maybe help her.
Yeah. I was gonna say she should fire her, but I think there's probably, like,
Legal.
legal
Yeah, you can't just fire
protections
someone.
there. Like, what would you tell the lawyers? Like,
Yeah,
I
she
fired
brought
her.
demons to me.
Yeah, she haunted our morgue. I don't think that would fly legally.
No.
Yeah, but I think a morgue is probably the worst place to have that door be open and not know how to close it.
Yeah, there's just way too many souls
So
and
many
people.
Ah,
Not good. Not good.
I also keep thinking about this glitch in the Matrix that you mentioned. Like I said, it makes me really uncomfortable to think about. But at the same time, it just occurred to me that I think I had a glitch in the Matrix moment a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I don't think I processed it until right now.
Let's hear it.
Okay. I was at work and we were just finishing a training. So I'm walking out of this conference room. And this wasn't where I normally work, right? This wasn't like in my normal office building. It was another building. That's Spanish. It was another building that was separate from my office. So I had been there, but a very long time ago.
Okay.
And so we're walking out of the training. My coworkers and I are leaving. And a security guard stops me. And he says, "Hey, excuse me, you dropped something." And I turn around and he's holding an earring. And he's like, "You dropped your earring."
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck? Because it was my earring. But I had lost that earring like 3 months prior.
Were you wearing earrings that day?
I was.
And
I was wearing both of them still.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had lost that earring months prior.
Okay, that's weird.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
So I took the earring home and, put it back onto my earring tree where its pair was. But, like, I have not worn them since. That's very freaky.
Wait, that's also interesting that, like, the security guard automatically assumed it was your earring.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if, okay, right? The only logical explanation is I lost that earring 3 months ago in that exact spot.
Yeah.
But how did it stay in that exact spot for 3 months without anyone seeing it?
There's
and then
no
someone
way.
only sees it when I walk by and I'm with a group of 5 people and he taps on my shoulder.
Oh. That makes it even crazier that you were with other people.
I was with other people.
And okay, yeah, there's no way that a earring that you lost 3 months ago could still be there because they clean this place regularly, I'm guessing. Yeah?
Yes, it was outside. The building that we were leaving was like you had to walk outside. This is like I work in a museum, so this is like a public park.
Okay, there's no way.
So we're on this like garden path in this park. Why would my earring still have been there 3 months later?
And I mean, everything had to fall in line for him to be like, "Oh, this is definitely your earring.
Yeah.
I know it's your earring."
Yeah. So maybe I've had a glitch in the Matrix.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. What if the security guard... Hold on. Oh, he picked it up from the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Or-
this is
well, I
this is
didn't
a
see him
huge.
pick it up.
Okay,
Actually.
okay, hold on. What if he saw you 3 months ago, drop that earring, and he didn't have time to get to you? So now when he finally saw you, he's like, "Hey, this is your earring." Like he
That's-
remembered you.
That's weird. Like he just kept it in his pocket, hoping I'd walk by. We work in the same.
Okay,
place.
maybe he didn't have it in his pocket. Maybe he had it around his desk somewhere. And he saw you and he was like, "Oh my god, this is her earring. Let me give it to her." Because you didn't see him
No.
pick it up.
No, I don't think so. The way the layout of the building is, there's no way.
Really?
Yeah, he was like definitely patrolling that area of the garden.
Why don't you go ask him?
Should I
wanna-
find him
I
and
want
ask
an
him?
update on this.
Okay,
I want an
okay.
update on this.
I'll find out.
Yeah.
Because that's wild. It's a really... I literally have not processed this until right now. All right. Wish me luck, y'all. I hope I don't glitch out again. Do you have a story for me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so this next segment is coming from Reddit and it's from r/paranormal. Little kids running around in the ICU when death comes. Like I've been saying in previous posts, being part of the medical community has afforded me the chance to evaluate patterns in all stages of life of people, including patterns that we see at the end of life. Some of you that work in hospitals or have loved ones that work in hospitals or have been close to loved ones as they took their last breaths and transitioned to the great unknown may have heard of what I am about to describe. There's a particular phenomenon that occurs to people in those last moments, and I am talking about the appearance of kids running about around their deathbed or just outside of their room. I experience this with greater frequency whenever I work in the ICU unit where people are very sick. What most patients describe is cheerful kids running about around their beds in a playful manner, snickering around or just playing. Most patients usually respond calling the nurse and asking, "Who are these kids running around and where are their parents?" and scaring the living bejesus out of them if they are new nurses. If they are experienced nurses, they know the time of the end is soon to come and they communicate promptly with us doctors to let us know to be ready. Literature often chalks this phenomenon up to lack of oxygen in the brain or neurochemical changes in the process of death and dying. But the pattern is very recognizable and the experience is very similar across all cultural backgrounds and ages. Almost all hospitals have a story about these kids, and if you are entering the field of medicine, nursing, or any other health-allied profession, you will certainly hear these stories.
Wow. Wait, did it say that only the patients were seeing the kids, or were the nurses and stuff seeing them as well?
So for this particular story,
Yeah.
only the patients would see it. But
Okay.
while I was doom scrolling on Reddit,
Okay.
I found so many of these posts by nurses and doctors and other health professionals talking about this kind of phenomenon. And they would hear these kids. They would not just kids though. Like they would hear people or see people walking at night.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's not just something that patients see.
Wow, okay, that's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because the skeptic in me was wondering, like, because I know, for example, certain drugs, like certain hallucinogens, like ayahuasca and San Pedro, produce the same visions in almost everyone who takes them, like obviously with slight variations. But for example, I think ayahuasca trips often start with like a humming sound, like almost like a helicopter or cicadas. And then you almost always see an anaconda at some point. And then San Pedro, like many people report having visions of themselves turning into a jaguar, for example. So I was wondering if maybe there is some sort of like actual chemical change in the brain right before you die that causes people to have the same vision over and over. But that's super interesting that other people are seeing it. So that kind of eliminates that.
Yeah. It's not just the patients that experience it, which is interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I could also see that when you're close to death, you are not really on the same plane as everyone else. So
Yeah.
maybe it's even more vivid to you,
You're
right?
like in between.
Yeah.
Do you think that these kids are the ghosts or spirits of people from that person's life?
No, I think they're people who have died in the hospital. So a lot of these stories talk about high traffic areas where it's a lot of sick people and people who, a lot of people die in those areas. So ER, ICU, all of those kind of areas.
is where a lot of these like ghostly experiences happen.
Yeah.
So it's people who have lost their lives there. And also, I kind of want to point out like the whole like happy kids and snickering and laughing about and just jumping around. I think that's so sweet, and it kind of brings the thought to me of like the fact that kids might not know that they're dead, whereas older people do. You know?
So like they think they're still just playing.
Yeah. Yeah, like they're not necessarily trying to communicate the same way that adults would.
Yeah.
They're just living their lives like they're still alive.
Oh yeah, they don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the way I had interpreted it. I guess whenever you see horror movies and stuff, like, and you see little kids involved, they're always creepy and demonic.
Yeah,
So I was kind of imagining the like ring around the rosies, like he's dying, let's take him, kind of thing. So I liked your explanation better though. That's way sweeter.
Okay, I mean, okay, first of all, I haven't experienced this kind of thing, right?
Right.
Just going off these posts,
Yeah.
it's always about like happy kids.
Okay.
You know? And then I think about it, I'm like, when kids are actually dying in real life, I wonder what they think of. Yeah, because I don't know if they fully know what's happening. And I don't know if they get to process it like adults do.
Yeah.
Because adults can be like, oh, I'm dying. I'm really sad about it. But I wonder what kids think about when they're dying.
Yeah, probably depends on like how much the adults in their lives have told them about death. Some adults are really matter of fact about talking about death, and then others are like, the dog's just on the farm playing with the chickens.
Right.
So that might have something to do with it.
Right.
Do you think if you had kids, you would tell them about death, or like how much would you go into it?
I think I would hold off on that.
Okay.
If one of their pets died, which is probably the only reason that you would really bring that up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do in that situation. I might be one of those people who would lie about it and then tell them later.
Yeah.
Because death is such a complicated topic. And I'm not saying that kids can't think in complex ways, because they definitely can. But maybe I don't want them to think about that at that age.
I think technically from a developmental standpoint, like it is probably better for them to know early on, and like not in detail, right? But just to know generally what death is. But at the same time, like I can't imagine being the person to share that information. I actually saw an Instagram reel the other day. It was so cute. It was of a little boy who was visited by a really cute little sparrow. And he was like, that's my friend. And then the next day, he goes outside and the sparrow is dead on the ground. And the little boy is like, oh, my friend came back. He's so cute. He's sleeping, silly little guy. Like he was like, oh, he's so silly. I can't believe my friend is back. That makes my heart happy. And he kept saying stuff like that. And the mom was like, all right, buddy, like, let's go inside. And so many of the comments were like telling the mom, like, you're wrong for that. Like, you should have told him that the bird was dead instead of lying to him. And I was like, in theory, I get what you're saying. But this little boy literally just said, my buddy is back. That makes my heart happy. And you're going to tell him he's dead.
Right. And then bring up the whole concept of death in that situation.
In that moment.
So the thing is, like, people have existential crises about death.
Yeah.
You know? I don't want to even put that thought in my kid's head until they're old enough to analyze it more wholesomely.
Yeah.
I don't want them to have to worry about death. And, you know, I don't ever want to get a question from my kid being like, when do you think I'm going to die?
Yeah.
I can't, that will probably make me fall apart.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Anyways. That was morbid.
Just a little.
Well, I love how you mimicked like a British child.
Just a little. Just a little. Yeah. I do British accents all the time, so
I know.
you'll probably hear more of them to come. And sorry, my deepest apologies if you're British. It is a bad accent at that.
Yeah. All of our accents on this podcast are going to be awful.
Oh, terrible. Including my own, just regular. It's no good. None of it. None of it's good.
Like, what is this accent? I don't even think it's American. So.
It's terrible. Well, let me bring us home with one last story.
I'm ready for it.
This one's pretty funny, so we're going to lighten the mood a little
I
bit.
better laugh, Em.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I read it 3 years ago when it came out, and I have not stopped thinking about it since.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from r/legal advice on Reddit, and it's called, I accidentally created an army of crow bodyguards. Am I liable if my murder attempts murder? To make a long story short, I am a late 20-something living in city. I had a pretty intense emo/goth phase as a tween that I thought I had grown out of. Same. A couple months ago, I was watching a nature program on our local station about crows. The program mentioned that if you feed them and befriend them, crows will bring you small gifts. My emo phase came back full force, and I figured that I was furloughed and had lots of time, so why not make some crow friends? My plan worked a little too well, and the resident 5 crows in my neighborhood have turned into an army 15 strong. At first, my neighbors didn't mind and enjoyed it. They're mostly elderly, and most were in a birdwatching club anyway. They thought the fact that I had crows following me around wherever I go outside was funny. Lately, the crows have started defending me. My neighbor came over for a socially distanced chat, me on my porch, her in my yard, and the crows started dive bombing her. They would not stop until she left my yard. They didn't make physical contact with her, but they got very close. Am I liable if these crows injure someone since I fed them? I obviously can't control the crows. I would rather them not attack my neighbors. But since I technically created this nuisance, would I be financially on the hook for any injuries? To be clear, they're not aggressive 100% of the time. If just the neighbors are out, they're friendly, normal crows. They only get aggressive when someone gets close to me or my property.
Wow. She's so lucky.
So
lucky.
The literal dream.
She has a gang of crows
Can
that
you
protect her?
imagine? Can you imagine for 1 second, like, going outside, like, leaving your house and just putting out your arms, and all the crows just, like, land on your arms, and you're like, yes.
Incredible.
Don't look at me. Don't speak to me. Speak to my crows.
Yeah.
Ask my crows for any questions.
Yeah.
Are you
Who
kidding?
wouldn't want that? If you don't want that, you need to go somewhere.
Go somewhere.
Go somewhere.
Just fucking get out of here.
I don't know if y'all believe in hell. I mean, I was going to say that, but... Anyways.
No, but dude, the dream. Crows are the best birds, period. So smart.
I feel like you're going to start spitballing so many facts about crows right now, and I'm here for it. So go for it.
Are you
Tell
sure?
me it
'Cause
all.
I can reel it in.
No. I have the feeling, I have the tingly nose knowledge stuff feeling. So come on.
No, I won't say much, but they're like the only animals other than primates, I believe, and maybe like octopuses, who can use complex tools.
Oh, okay.
Like, for example, they'll use a stick to like grab something out of a hole. That's like pretty normal. But what they can also do is they can attach a stick to another stick to make a longer stick. They're also aware of like
how would they do that?
They've done it in a lab, right?
Okay.
I don't know if it's been done in the wild, but in a lab, like researchers will give them like sticks where like one fits into the other, kind of
so
like
like
Legos.
critical thinking. They have critical thinking skills.
Exactly,
Okay.
and they'll know like, oh, I need to use this, or they're like, I need to use the one with the hook attachment to get this peanut out. They're super smart. They can speak.
Yeah,
They
I can barely
speak.
do that. Damn, these crows went up me already.
I feel you. But yeah, they can talk. They're so cool. And honestly, the fact that they're dive bombing your neighbors, I'm sorry if you like your neighbors. I guess that's rough. But like maybe if there's a way to train them so they can dive bomb people that you don't like.
Exactly. Oh my God, it's like a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah. So cool. Crows also have generational knowledge.
Yeah?
So, like, if you're nice to a crow, not one time, but like repeatedly befriend a crow, that crow will tell its family, its offspring, and scientists, I don't think, are sure how they're telling each other, but somehow they're communicating that, like, this person is a friend. And then the entire crow family might start bringing you gifts.
Dang.
Yeah. Similarly, never be mean to a crow.
Yeah.
Ever, because then you will have, again, not just one crow who hates you, but their whole family for generations.
I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I think there was a study done where scientists wore a mask and were really mean to crows while wearing that mask. And every time they went outside wearing that mask, the crows would scream at them and like dive bomb them and stuff. And then they stopped wearing the mask. And then a year later, after much time had passed and it wasn't even the same crows who were around, they put the mask back on. And those crows, even though those weren't the original crows, start screaming, dive bombing them. So the crows knew that like masked person is enemy.
Wait, but that seems like a confounding variable to me. Because what if they just really hated the mask? Like, yeah, okay, you know what I would want to see? I would want to see a person, like, in their natural form, okay, a scientist in their natural form, just annoying these crows, and then coming back a year later and not doing anything, and seeing how they're treated by these crows,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it would suck if these crows, like, really hated that person, and, like...
They could never go outside.
Yeah, because they would just get attacked and shit on, but you know... It's a scientist's job to sacrifice
for the greater good.
Exactly.
For donating themselves.
That's what I'm saying. The mask is a cop-out. The mask is a cop-out. Let's be real.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Do you think that we're like equally ugly though to a crow, whether we're wearing a mask or not? Like maybe the mask is an improvement on our attractiveness.
My God. You're so right. Okay, so this needs to be done with about 5 people of varying attractiveness. is what I'm thinking.
Send the 3 out. Dive bomb. All right, try the 8.
Yeah. That's the one. You know, it's going to be a really detailed... Maybe we should do it.
Maybe we should pitch
it
I don't
to actual scientists.
Number I am.
No, not us. Pitch the idea. I don't want to be hated by crows.
You're like, send the 2 out. Emily, get out there.
Now send the 10 out. Tima, go out there.
Damn, okay.
No, but like, yeah, I think that would be the only way to really tell, because I'm not buying the whole mask situation.
That's interesting. That certainly would be sacrificing yourself for science, though, because you would never be able to go outside again.
Yeah, it is what it is.
They're everywhere.
Again, it is what it is. Maybe they can win a Nobel Peace Prize for it. To make up for the crows hating you.
For their crow science. Yeah, maybe. All right, if anyone wants to do this experiment, let us know. I think we're taking applicants.
Yeah, we'll set it up. I have a degree in biology, so we can
do
something with it. I do have that.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, everyone has. It's all good. Oops.
On that note.
Yeah.
Should we ride our murderer crows on out of here?
Yeah, we gonna fly away.
Let's do it. Caca, bitches. Yeah, thanks y'all for joining us on our Halloween episode.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it just as much as we did.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, even though we got haunted live on camera in 1080p.
Yeah. By my angry ghostly friend.
Sorry, girl, again, we mean no harm. But yeah, have a safe Halloween weekend. Stay spooky.
And don't let the bed bugs bite.
Don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye. Y'all.
Fuck, I said bugs.
No, you didn't.
I did.